Well, I think one of the key things in this area, Jeff, is that when you lie, and you're in a post-fact society where facts are the anchor. Facts are the anchor to show whether something's true or not. And once you go into a post-fact society, people get so confused they're lying with not even realizing they're lying. Because the whole basis of what is perceived to be true and not true is increasingly not mental, it's emotional. You look at the progressive mentality and its reactions, they're all emotional. You look at the takeover of this mentality in the universities and the colleges, the reaction is emotional. I've seen people, students for instance, being interviewed about a protest that they're involved in. We're against this, we're against that, and all that stuff. And when they're questioned on the detail of the subject they're protesting about, they are clueless. They have no idea. It is pure emotion. And it's also something else. It's pure virtue signaling. Instead of standing up for what you believe, even if it's against the grain, then you instead want to virtue signal. You want to say, look how good I am, how nice I am, how lovely I am, how perfect I am. And to do that within the environment you're operating in, you have to agree with the prevailing narrative. So if you are of the progressive mentality, you virtue signal by repeating the mantra. You meet resistance if you challenge it, and people are not only more and more becoming intimidated to repeat the mantra, they're becoming so absorbed by it that they actually believe it and repeat it from a point of view of, yes, it's true, because they have no factual foundation to challenge what they are told is true. So, I mean, this is my view, for instance, and this is how the progressive mentality works. It works by seeing everything in black and white. Literally, actually, in many cases. So you show me any group of people of any race, culture, and background, and I'll show you nice people, I'll show you okay people, and I'll show you deeply psychopathic people. So that is what intelligent, fact-based people do. They don't look at the race, they don't look at the religion, they look at the behavior of individual people within that group, and they make their judgments on that basis. Instead, the progressive mentality does not do individual breakdown of people's behavior. It just does groups. For instance, the white male now as a group is labeled bad by this progressive mentality. By reflex action, and I see this movement for the white people, for instance, to have to give reparations for what has happened in the past. And my point is this: hold on a minute, you just got the sequence right. In the past, the people you're targeting now and calling out and abusing just because they are white, for instance, or white male, they didn't actually do what you are saying they should apologize for. Because we are consciousness having an experience through bodies of different racial types. But it's the mentality that matters. And so people are being abused now who would not dream of doing what they are told they should feel guilty about, but you must still feel guilty about it anyway. It's nonsense. We have to look at individual behavior and recognize the fact that you don't have to be white to be racist, for instance. It's a mentality, it's not a color. And start to break down and have some maturity and have some intelligence and look at individual behavior. Because if you don't do that, then you are guilty of the very same racism that you are railing against in terms of other areas of society. We've got to start growing up. But the idea, of course, and this is the whole foundation of the manipulation of the young, is to stop them growing up, to stop them maturing in their exactly. And this is what the education system has been transformed into. The education system, which in America came out of the Rockefeller family massively, has always been a programming operation. But now we've got into levels of extreme where it is a massive psychological programming operation, which is creating, you've used the phrase, forms of arrested development, a lack of emotional maturity as well as mental maturity, and it's being done systematically. And that's why I really do hold my hand up big time to young people today who have been through this psychological targeting, which through the use of technology is greater than it's ever been, and they've still seen through it. That's the confirmation of the power of consciousness over programming. If only people would become conscious beyond the program, then you see it. The idea of the education system is to start the programming at the earliest possible age and have it unceasing from cradle to grave. The human body, brain and human body, is a processor of information. As with a computer, you can change the way that it processes information. And deep in the rabbit hole, they understand how to do this. And so when you're looking at GMO, you're looking at additives in food and water, you're looking at the massive increase in electromagnetic pollution in our... 5G is an extraordinarily important subject. Then what you're doing is you are manipulating the energetic information fields of the body that process information, and you're changing the way they process information. For instance, the mobile phones and what are coming off them, the smartphones, they are changing the way the brain processes information. This is why the attention spans of people have actually plummeted. And if you plummet attention spans, then you're not getting people to focus on substance, because they can't focus concentrate long enough to get into substance. And you are, again, adding to this post-fact society, because people will not concentrate on something for long enough to actually absorb the facts. Well, you look at the progressive mentality that we've been talking about. What is it? It's completely and utterly reactive. That's all it does. It's an emotional reaction followed by another emotional reaction based on no fact, based on no foundation of substance, just emotional reaction. That's where we've got with so many young people. Now, why young people? And children? Because they are meant to be the adults when the full-blown technological control system grid society comes in. And again, this whole transgender explosion, which again you're not allowed to talk about or have another opinion about, is all part of this movement towards the no-gender synthetic human. This was talked about by Aldous Huxley in Brave New World, for instance, where the synthetic human doesn't procreate but is produced in laboratory means according to various castes that indicate where in the end synthetic humans are created according to their caste, in other words, their contribution robotically, slave-like to society. And because this is a no-gender human, this is what this explosion of transgender is all about. Because going from the gender male female human to the no gender human is a heck of a leap. So what you do is you fuse the perception, the psychological perception of gender. You fuse the gender, so you combine it, and that's what we're seeing now. And then once you've combined it and fused and diluted the male-female perception of gender, then you move to the next stage, the stage you were going to all along, which is no gender at all. No gender at all. This is what it's about. And of course, if you could openly talk about this in the mainstream, then people might have another fix on what's going on. But of course, if it's the agenda, you must not allow people to openly debate it. Otherwise, too much information about it is circulating.